Hi, this is a response to a response by Listening Griffin. I guess your name is Spencer. And I made some notes here, if not a complete script, because I'm not too good at speaking extemporaneously and I'm kind of tired. So, I agree with a lot of your comments, but first I'll say what I don't agree with. And there's not too much I disagree with. Mostly it's about your problem with atheists saying that there's no God. And I do agree that a lot of them, or quite a few of them, or well, a certain amount of them do get too extreme, if not fanatical. But the thing is with logic is that you shouldn't have to prove a negative. So if I say there are little green men, the burden on me is to prove that they do exist. It shouldn't be on you to prove, or somebody else to prove that they don't. And I think that was Carl Sagan that said how great claims require great proof or evidence. And so the simpler concept should really be the default position. And then also, you probably know a lot of this, Occam's razor is that the simplest explanation is the best. But then of course people will say that the complexity of the universe proves that there had to be a creator, and on that goes. So I'd say, I think the main problem with the atheists and agnostics and the religious people is the definition of God. So you have A, God is a supernatural being who intervenes in human history, and then B is it's a metaphor for the great unknown. In other words, it just represents what we don't understand, the universe, where it all came from. And that seems to be your take on it, and that's mine too. And like I got a lot of that from Joseph Campbell talks about this, that's really how God is used, and it gets kind of corrupted by especially the three Abrahamic religions. And that's also what Einstein actually meant by God. People try to interpret it different ways, but I believe essentially he thought of God as representing the fundamental laws of the universe. It's physics. So that's something else of yours that I agreed with. And then one of the other big things I do agree with is the oneness of the universe. And that's the Eastern philosophical view of Zen Buddhism, and particularly Taoism, which to me is more of it's a philosophy. It's almost like a psychology or an existential philosophy more than a religion. And recently I got into the Western esoteric tradition called the Hermetic tradition, or even a cult. Things like Kabbalah, which is nothing at all like Madonna's portrayal of it, nothing like that. And I'll have to do a blog about it one of these days, but it's really going to take a lot of effort and focus because it's actually simple and complicated. And so most of that, the Hermetic kind of Eastern, Western esoteric stuff, I'm using that as models and metaphors. It's just kind of like working hypotheses, models and metaphors. And finally, your video response gave me another idea or theory, which I probably had this comes and goes, about how, like you were saying, maybe we'll never know the answer or the secrets of existence. It's just not knowable. And the thing is, because if and when we do know it all, then we will be God or gods. That's the only way. And so when we know it, we no longer will be ourselves, we'll be the universe. And I probably talked kind of fast here because I don't want the hammer only holds about 5 minutes. So I hope I gave you some food for thought, Spencer, and take care.